Music is not one language, it's four. And most musicians have only ever been taught one of them. But today, I'm going to give you all four. And by the end of this, you'll know exactly which one you've been missing. Hey, if we haven't met yet, I'm EP Archer. I help musicians and songwriters stop overthinking, break through blocks fast, and finally finish the music they start. If you've put in the work and you still feel like something's missing, you're in exactly the right place. So you're in a situation, you know enough theory to build anything, right? You know chords, you know how to do a harmonic progression, you know how to look at a song and figure out, wow, I really love the harmony of this song, the chord progression, what is it? Figured it out, okay, now I can put that in a DAW or on an instrument. You've met musicians technically below your level, right? Whose music stops you cold. It's not their virtuosity, it's not their talent, it's not their skill. It's like, dang, girl, that's hitting me. It's hitting me right where it counts. And you can feel that. And it doesn't matter if it's a draft or something rough or something just thrown together, something sung to you over the phone. You're just like, woo, you can feel it in your bones. You've studied, you've practiced, you've invested, time and money or both. YouTube's, community college, what classes, courses, all kinds of stuff. Maybe you're involved in a community where you get to share. And still, there feels like there's a wall between the music in your head and the music that's coming out. It can also feel like there's a wall in your heart between your authentic sound and what you're trying to say and the way you're trying to say it and what actually comes out. And then we start this cycle. It's happened for me so many times. I see it with my students and it's crushing. It's soul crushing, right? We're like, maybe I'm just not built for this. Maybe I'm not a songwriter. Maybe maybe I just like play my instrument. Maybe, we call things like a hobby or a fun activity to release that pressure when we know there's this calling inside that we feel that's like, okay, even though this is a hobby though, girl, I cannot wait to get home and do it. I got to do it. It's like part of me, it fuels me. I need it. And so if you're somebody that, whether it's casual or a hobby or something you've really studied and put time into, and you're looking back, or maybe you have music degrees and you never ended up using them, you became an accountant. I have tons of friends that have bachelor's and master's degrees in music, and they are doing something completely different. I also have a colleague that I know that got her degree in computer science, and she now does piano performance and teaching full time. So it's not necessarily the training, the money that we've invested, it's that connection into who we are. So let's talk about these 4 layers. And I think if you use these 4 layers, I know that if you use these 4 layers, you can start unlocking part of your communication, your sound, your emotional resonance, and your energetic signature that will help you to have intent and feeling and connection to your music better than ever before. Let's jump in. We talked about this first layer just a couple episodes about sonic connotation. A second layer is your signature sound. And I'm sure if you are somebody who has studied it all, that's something that you're like, ooh, I want it, right? And we know the people that have it, and the people that have it get copied. And then there's like 18 to 20 of those signature sounds and dilutions all over the country, right? All over the world. Because the signature sound is so juicy and so money, we can't help but like have more iterations of it. And all of those people are connecting to that sound. The third layer is an expressive vehicle. And the fourth layer is musical vocabulary. And a lot of us that have been trained, that have done the courses, that have buried ourselves deep in the YouTubes, the courses, the certifications, the diplomas, the community college, maybe even university, the degrees, musical vocabulary and technique are the number 1 and number 2 things that we are taught. This note at this time, this way. Here's how you make that sound with your voice, and here's the sound that you will make. And it can become so robotic, but I've got a twist on musical vocabulary too, because I think it is one of the most fun ways of expanding when you relate it to the other layers, when you relate it to your expressive vehicle, when you relate it to your signature sound, and when you remember and dive in to that sonic connotation. So let's talk about that. That raw emotional weight. It includes timbre, melody, rhythm, space, tone. It's like what it feels like as a dense sensation in your body. So if you think of the sound of a cello bow striking a chord on the instrument and filling the room with sound, there is an emotional density and weight to that that is different than the same note in a different octave or on a different instrument played by a different person with a different bow in a different key signature with different harmony. So we want to really feel into what is the feeling that I'm going for. And many times the good starting point is just being in the feeling as you are singing, as you are playing the note. Don't ever lose that. That is how we have catharsis. That's how we build. That is how we have growth and transformation with music for ourselves and others, to know what the raw emotional weight is. And whether that's something heavy or bright, exciting or dampening, know what it is. The second layer, our signature sound, is the energy and the presence that you and only you can bring. Adam Lambert is a technically identical singer to Freddie Mercury, and yet the signature sound is completely different. Even touring with Queen, singing all of Freddie's songs, we know Adam Lambert's sound in an instant. And all of your favorite artists have this, I guarantee it. You also have it, and it is more related to authentically connecting to yourself, your passion, your purpose. I know you don't want to hear this because it's woo-woo, but hopefully some of you do want to hear it. And if you do, you're my people. What's up? Fist bump right here. Connecting to who we are and what we have to say and our story is what creates the sound. It isn't our musical training, although musical training and technique can unlock it. We usually start by imitating someone that we really like their sound. Oh, this has like an edge and a screamo thing. I want to do that. And as we learn the vocal technique and open up, or the instrumental technique, or the way that someone has this lilt, and we open and the door gets wider and wider, the purpose of that technical opening is not direct imitation. It's to allow space for us to be able to communicate more clearly. And so having that open is like, woo, huge epiphany, girl. And we want to do that systematically with a mentor, with a structure, so that we don't miss out on any of the juicy bits. If you don't have vibrato yet, or if you'd like to widen, improve, and that is going to help your signature sound to come through. Maybe there's a part of your sound you don't even know about yet. And so I love the exercise. I'll tell you this in another episode probably, but get a list of people you listen to and why, and what their signature sound is, and exactly which part of it do you like. I like their vibrato. Okay, what do you like about it? Do you like how narrow it is, how wide it is, how throaty it is, how juicy it is? Write it down and figure it out. And the more you have on your list, the better. We're going to brainstorm you into your signature sound. The third layer is an expressive vehicle. Now, the vehicle doesn't have to be your voice or your instrument. The vehicle can be the form, the song structure, the genre. You know, it could simply be dubstep or metal step as your genre, as your starting vehicle. But that expressive vehicle, that structure, that form, even the instrumentation, acoustic guitar and acoustic bass is a totally different expressive vehicle than electric guitar and electric bass. And so finding and honing in on that container helps you honor your expectations. And then you can honor other people's expectations, subvert them, blow them up, or have some sort of a integrated combo of what's expected and what isn't within that expressive vehicle. It's one of the things I love to experiment with so much. And if you think of doing a creative cover for something with a completely different instrumentation, there is juicy inspiration in that. So find a vehicle, a form, a structure, genre, instrumentation, subgenre that you can exploit and that you can decide where to push it and where to back off from it. And finally, our fourth layer is your musical vocabulary. It's not just a language. There's a dialect, there's a twang, there's an inflection, there is a voice. And whether you're in pop, jazz, gospel, blues, classical music, whatever period of time you are in, we can honor that grammar. Once you have it, the rule is 75%, 25%. It's not 100% that vocabulary. It's infusing at least a quarter of you and your twist and your words and your vocabulary on top of it, right? And if you're an edgy person, an avant-garde person, you could push that to 50. Maybe if you're completely experimental, that's 100%, baby. And I am high-fiving you right now. Go get it. But that vocabulary is a really great entry point into connecting with anyone, no matter what genre you're in. You can use the jazz vocabulary over a pop vehicle with your signature vibrato sound and a connotation of deep, dark emotion. And when you start throwing these together, the sky is the limit. You will never lack for inspiration or clarity on the intensity that you are creating, and you'll always have a roadmap. And most music education lives entirely in the layers of technique and vocabulary, form, theory, genre, and that matters. But if you skip the deeper layers, you won't develop this awareness and connection that is what you're looking for, and everyone else that's listening is too. They don't have words for it. They don't need words for it, but we have words for it. We have a technique. We have a structure to follow to help open up the can of worms and light it up. So let's use these layers. If you want to pick a song for today, something that you love, not one you made, maybe just one that moves you. It could be a cover song. It's really a lot easier to do this with a cover song than an original. Listen through the layers, get the raw feel, get the person's energy, get the structure, get the genre. What vocabulary is it? Pick something simple and easy that you know what it is, but you love it. It makes you feel something. But identify what those are. What's the musical vocabulary? What's the expressive vehicle? What's the signature sound, and what is the sonic connotation? And you will walk away with something you haven't had before when you listen to that song. The musicians you admire most and the songwriters that you crave aren't just better at craft. They're broadcasting on all 4 frequencies at once, intentionally. So stop going for good music or a certain kind of music and start going for your music. If you want a community that works through all 4 of these layers together, people who are as serious about this as you are, that are committed and excited and having fun doing this and exploring, come join us at Music Rebels and get something done right away this week. I can't wait to see you there because your best music is on the other side.